Show me something. Hello and welcome back to the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Trevor.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Will.
And I'm Marissa.
Yeah, we have Marissa here this week.
Yeah, welcome back to the pod.
Hi.
Welcome back to the pod. First guest on a video pod, right?
Yes.
For this?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
For the show?
That's
Whoa.
a good milestone right there.
Prestigious.
And
Achievement
this is
unlocked.
also the first episode where more than one of us have seen the show
Whoa.
Yeah.
this time, or the piece of media.
Making moves.
Because this week
Yeah.
I brought one of, I know, right? This week I brought one of my all-time favorite anime, Ouran High School Host Club, which Marissa has also seen and loves.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
So I'm very excited. But
Me
before we
too.
get into it, do we have any housekeeping stuff to go over?
What's that mean?
I don't.
Well-
You guys do for sure. You just shook your head no. What do you mean,
Oh,
Will?
that-
We
house
literally
thing?
just talked
Yeah.
about it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It doesn't
but-
I just
feel
didn't know
real.
what that
It doesn't
meant.
feel real to me. Yeah, we're doing a little house hunting. You know, casual house hunting.
Hell yeah.
Weekend house hunting. Looking for our first real place. So
Ooh.
that's been fun. You know, we saw a few the other day throughout the city of St. Petersburg, and you know,
Becoming
It's
adults.
exciting.
Doing
Casting a
adult
wide net.
things.
we're
Yeah.
mostly just doing it so we can get another cat. That's the biggest thing.
Nice. That is
It's a
important.
good reason.
That's just
He needs a
Why?
friend.
My pet that doesn't exist, a house.
Yep.
Hell
He needs
yeah.
more space.
You know?
Maverick needs
Yeah.
more space.
It's not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we already know.
Are
Maverick.
you serious?
Sorry,
What?
relax.
No.
Right on. I don't have any news. Well, actually, I mean, my schedule's changing, so I'll be a late boy
That's news.
instead of an early boy.
Wait, boy.
But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. You got anything, Trev?
Not a ton. Just kind of working, doing my thing. I did start reading the manga for Ouran High School
I
Host Club.
figured that's what you were hinting at.
Nice.
Yeah, because I never read it back in the day, and I've never really was into manga, but I've been
I've
reading
never read
some
one.
recently. I'll get into it's good. I mean, I'm not very far in. I
Yeah.
I'm just past the intro of him joining, him,
Yeah.
whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Want to give a brief synopsis, Trev?
Okay, yeah. So this show takes place in a high school for the extremely rich,
Yeah.
who. That's pretty much it. It's just a super prestigious high school in Japan.
Rich
for
and
all these,
beautiful.
rich and beautiful, yes. And yeah, the story follows our main character, Haruhi, as they are forced to join the host club that is at this school, where these five, whoops, I almost forgot one.
See?
5 incredibly beautiful, well, 6 including Haruhi, right? Or am I missing someone? One,
The
two,
blonde, the
three,
glasses, the
Oh,
tough,
shit.
the small, and the
I
two
forgot
twins.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
Tamaki.
I forgot Mori.
Yeah, there's 6, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's 6. My
Trevor.
bad. 7 including
He
Haruhi.
loves the show.
Whatever.
What are we
Anyways,
talking about?
technically
What a
8 if
coward.
you want to include. Technically 8 if you want to include Renge,
Renge,
their
yeah.
manager, but
I don't.
She's not a
Whatever.
host though.
Yeah.
exactly, she's not a host.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in the host club where they entertain the ladies
Mm-hmm.
of the school who also have too much free time on their hands,
I love
as
that
it says in
line.
the intro. It's so good. And yeah, the hijinks that ensue on this reverse harem comedy show.
Yeah.
It's great. Good stuff.
Yeah.
There
so
we
you
go.
want, all
That's
right,
not a good
uh,
synopsis, but it's a synopsis nonetheless.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I watched this all it's pretty much the only thing I watched last week. I pulled 2 days in a row watching 8 eps apiece.
That's insane.
To
Nice.
try to get it finished, because Will gave me a hard time last week when I said I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish. He called me a coward and a fool.
Oh my gosh.
So I got it finished, and then we got pushed back because the 4 of us had some scheduling difficulties. So then I had a few days where I was just chilling. So I was like, man, I really could have spaced this out better. But it is what it is. So yeah, this show is it's an interesting one.
So you
I
have
really
no
hated
experience
it.
with it?
No,
What?
I didn't have any
Really?
experience. Yeah, I did not like the show at all.
I knew I was not gonna like it.
I
Oh, wow,
didn't
I'm
think it was
surprised.
funny. I didn't like the characters. I thought a lot of the plot lines didn't go anywhere, and they could have been a lot better.
Oh my God.
I didn't like the setting at the school. It just was not my thing.
Yeah.
I could see why people like it, and I could see like it's just not a show meant for me.
Yeah, I knew that.
And that's fair, but yeah, for me it was really hard to watch it. I was actually at a point where I didn't know if I was gonna finish the show just on principle, but I was like, I didn't want to set that standard to be okay for the show.
Yeah.
It's
We
not
can't,
okay.
We can't not watch each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Abby was really advocating for me to not watch it, and I had to fight that urge. But I did finish.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I just didn't like it,
I'm
man.
not. I was not.
1
I
out of
knew
10.
Jacob was gonna.
I didn't like.
1 out
I
of
hated
10.
it. 1 out of 10. Wasn't my
Wow.
thing.
Wow.
That's
It was
crazy.
really
Damn.
tough for me to get through. Those 2 days where I watched 8 eps apiece was fucking brutal.
I'm curious if you hadn't
Yeah,
put
that's.
yourself in that situation, if it would be not
I
as
said
strong
that
of
too. Didn't I say
a
that?
reaction. Like if you were watching like 2 or 3 a day over 2 weeks, would you have been so angry about it? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't
But-
know. It just was torture to get through.
Because I feel like this is kind of what
Damn.
happened to me with Gurren Lagann, because I had to watch a lot of it in a short amount of time, and I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And there were parts that I liked, and I just, because I had to watch it so back to back, that it like really kind of ruined it for me. Not to that degree though, so maybe
Yeah.
it's
There was just
beyond
it was
me.
just like disappointing too, because there was a lot of plot lines where like the beginning of the
Yes.
episode I was like, oh, this is gonna be pretty cool, this is gonna be sick, and then I was like, I just didn't. I was like,
Dang.
man, this went nowhere, and it was just like them doing the same shit over and over again. I wanted it to be deeper, I think, than it was, but it
It's
didn't.
not a
get there
deep
for me.
show. I never said
Yeah.
it was going to be a deep show.
I know you didn't. No, I mean, I didn't really have any expectations going into it. I kind of figured I would like it just because I've pretty much liked most of the animes that you've showed,
Yeah.
But they've all been very,
Okay.
very like boy animes, haven't they? They've been like
Yeah, I
action
can't even- I
adventure
don't even know what
shows.
you guys watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one.
But yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, a lot of them have been shonens and stuff like, or shonen-like, if not shonen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And maybe
okay, fair.
that's my genre that I like, who knows?
Maybe.
All my anime experience has been on this show pretty much, except for Demon Slayer, so
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Which, on this a similar plot line to the rest of them, where it's just like a lot of
Yeah.
action-y kind of
Gotcha.
stuff. So,
yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, Will, what'd
Yeah.
you think, brother?
I'm not really in the same boat as Cobb. I didn't love it. I definitely didn't hate it. I think that it's stronger at the back end than it is at the front end. It's like I have questions about structure of anime in general, like I usually do, coming in with not a ton of information that I'll hold until after we review. But it's just like it's a very different structure from like what I'm used to in Western television, basically. But yeah, the first few episodes I was like very much not into it. I was like, this is fucking wild. I'm not sure what the point of it is. But I came around. I think I warmed up to a lot of the characters. I think it struggles from the pace of the characterization. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird that we get so much character insight in like the last 10 episodes. So I'm sitting there for like, 10, 15 episodes, not really giving a shit about these people. And then like I come to care about them at the end. And then it's like I am enjoying it more. I was definitely more
I would say
invested.
the first 10 episodes are very much like you could just watch those as like one-offs. Like they don't
Yeah.
connect to really anything else.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you're getting general character information, but it's not like establishing plot or real relationship stuff to the degree that it does in the end of the show. I did think it was funny at a lot of parts. It's very goofy. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, obviously this is of a genre, I'm assuming. It is not a genre I have any familiarity with. It's not horny necessarily, but it is like very, I I don't know.
It's very preteen horny. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
like Pixar horny.
It's PG. Yeah, PG horny.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's probably how we'll call it that. And that's kind of off-putting at first. I was like, this is wild that, the twins have their deal, and like Tamaki just like being up in everyone's face and like holding chins. It was like very hard to get used to that.
Roses everywhere.
I love the roses actually.
Yeah.
The rose aesthetic is amazing. So that's a big thing. I'm down with that. Great theme song, great end credit song. I liked all the music was good. I liked that the music was also in the show as ringtones and alarms and stuff, which is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely not my favorite. It's definitely not my least favorite. I would say probably like a 6.5. There are parts of it that I really enjoyed. I definitely came around to a lot of the characters. But it's definitely not a show that is like quote unquote for me, which is cool. I like seeing that kind of stuff. I'm curious to hear a bit more about this genre, but we'll get into that, later. So, what about you?
Yeah. Yeah, Marissa.
So it's not like one of my favorite shows of anime, but I mean I enjoy watching it. Like I was laughing the whole entire time.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny, but I can't stand any of the rosy love ooey gooey. Like I hate that part of the show. If it was just them being like goofy the entire time, I would easily give it a 10 out of 10. But like the whole I don't care what they're like the girls when they're like fantasizing. It's more like when they're trying to I don't know what the word is. They're trying to put it out there on purpose for some reason. Like when what you were saying, like the Tamaki putting making it a line and like him going like I just think it's like the roses.
It's
I
weird.
hate the roses. Like if that wasn't a thing, I feel like it wouldn't be even more dramatic. Like there's moments between some people. I can't think of like a scene where like Tamaki and what's the main character? What's her name? Haruhi-chan. Like when they have
Haruhi.
Haruhi, like when they have like a moment and then like they ruin it with roses, and I'm like that could have been an actual good moment, but making it dramatic with the roses is just like makes it worse, and that's what I can't stand about the show. But other than that, I think like everything like about the funniness with the animes with the arrows and like the animes in the background were like hilarious. I like that stuff. And Tamaki, I mean, he's ridiculous. Like he's just so dramatic, and I thought his character was hilarious. I mean, we will get into characters later, right? I don't know how it's set up. Okay. But my background with the show is I was a freshman in college, and my friend Ariana, who also loves anime, we became friends because we were the only two people who watched anime on our lacrosse team. Like literally that's it.
The two weebs,
literally. Like, and we had a really hard day once, and I think we found out like one of our good guy friends was like moving or something, and we were like sad about it. So we like went into her room and like turned the lights off, and we're like, we're gonna watch an anime. And she was like, have you heard of Ouran Host Club? And I was like, no. And she like played it for me, and that was my first time watching it my freshman year, and then I've watched it like a couple times since then. But I give it an 8 out of 10, but it would be stronger if it didn't have all the like I'm not big on like sexualizing or lovey-dovey. Like my favorites is Fruit Baskets. I don't know, Fruits Baskets. You guys haven't seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, Trevor.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I have not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, and then
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Have you
Fake
seen
weeb, Trevor.
what's the other the volleyball one? Now I'm
Haikyuu.
Like that's my other second favorite. Like I would put those before Ouran Host Club. It's not like my favorite, but I love the character development. Also, like we were talking about it. We were not talking about it, but I said the character development was like it would have been better at the beginning because I mean he'd be on his phone. I'd be like, this is really important. like I know it's really slow, but like this is really important because like you never know when a character development was gonna come, it just would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes it'd be hidden because it'd be like, oh, maybe it's just someone's look someone would do or something off. Like it'd be very small, but like I love the character development and the characters. That was huge for me. That was the reason I liked the show. I thought it was really emotional. I mean, I got emotional. I'm a girl. So like, I mean, I'm not saying all girls are emotional, but I mean, the character development was good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was good. 8 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
All
Yeah.
right.
Trev.
I love this show. I'm not even gonna front. I love this show. I don't know why I love this show, but I just do. This was a pretty early on show for me with anime. I think I watched it either late high school, like, because I didn't get into anime until late into high school. So it was either a late high school, early college show. I think it was just the only reason I watched it is because I was like going through just like any anime I could get a hold of, kind of sort of thing. And it was on Netflix, which made it really easy to get. And this show has been on Netflix forever.
It's finally leaving though.
Yeah, now that we I choose to bring it, it's leaving.
It's pretty crazy.
in what 10 days ish.
The end of the month.
It'll probably be
so
gone by
that
the time this
sucks.
episode comes out, right?
It will be,
next
it'll
week.
be long gone.
Yeah, so sorry, find it somewhere else if you want to watch it. But
Hulu, like a week later.
Yeah.
probably.
this show, man, back when I first watched it, I looked at my rating that I gave it back when I first watched it, and I have definitely bumped it up since then. Everything about it is funny to me. Like all the jokes for me, I just find really funny. The over exaggeration of stuff, the poking fun at otaku culture the whole time.
The what culture?
Otaku culture is like people who are like obsessed with like Japanese stuff. Like when Tamaki first gets to Japan and he's talking to I'm so bad at the names of these characters.
Really
it's embarrassing.
I only know Honey, like Honey Senpai.
Yeah, Kyoya, and he's talking to Kyoya about like, oh, I want to go visit all these places, and we have to the Katsu and all that fun stuff. It's like that's classic otaku bullshit, which all my friends, basically all throughout college, that's all we did was we were basically just otaku bullshit the whole time. So it's fun and all that, and like I had friends that were obsessed, like in that group that were obsessed with like the shipping and the boys love stuff, and like they really make fun of that throughout this whole thing, and all of it just lands for me because it's poking fun at all this stuff that I like know about and have fun with. So I honestly bumped this up to a 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Like
Cool.
I did. I had to update my list on Mal and add this to my list of favorites.
That's funny.
I have stuff that's more favorite than this, but yeah, this show gets a 10 out of 10 for me, easy. Like I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 originally, and then rewatching it, I'm like, damn. That's why I'm reading the manga now, because like I got to see what happens later.
Is it like similar?
It's not as good.
Oh, okay.
It's similar. They definitely took some liberties for the better in the show. Like a couple of plot things get like condensed so far.
That makes sense.
And that's for the better.
Yeah.
In a lot of places.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also definitely Haruhi formed some of my preference when it comes to anime girls. That's for sure. I like watching that, so I'm like, is this why I like that? Is this? Oh no, this is why I like that.
That's funny.
So and stuff like.
Wasn't she
but
like
yeah,
14?
Oh, I don't know.
Shut up.
So
I watched this when I was like 17, 18. So
Right
it's
on.
fine.
Anyway.
Anyways, I guess we can get into the regular, just overall.
I do have one like random comment because I don't know how it will come up.
No.
But there's the episode where the girl.
Wait, spoiler?
Yeah, now we're in
This is part
spoiler
of the-
stuff.
yeah,
just so
let's
we
just
can
do spoiler zone.
don't
So
know
we
what
talk
that
about
means.
anything now.
We don't talk about
Yeah, now we can talk about
specifics
anything.
until we are finished with the review. So, spoiler zone. Go ahead.
I don't know what that means. But there's an episode where the girl is like in love with the guy that's in the tea company.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
that
a good
girl who
episode.
plays the voice is the voice of the girl for Fruits Basket. And I was like, wait.
Oh,
Because I've been
okay.
watching Fruits Basket and I was like, wait, I know that voice. But, you know, like how all anime, like they kind of always have like some voices that are always on
Similar
In a lot of
different
dub
shows
actors.
and stuff. But I
That-
thought that was really interesting.
That episode was like satirical also, right? Like her like being in love with a video game character. Isn't that like
That's a different episode.
oh
I'm talking
That's
about the
a different
teacup,
episode, but
where she.
this is the one where
Oh, yeah,
they like
sorry.
help the guy and the girl together
Yeah.
at the dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I have
I mean, it's all satirical.
I have some
but
questions about this before we get into like characters and all that kind of stuff. What is a host club? Like, is this a real thing? And also,
I knew this was going to come
Like,
up. I
is
knew this
this-
was going to come
That's
up.
a good question.
I have
is
no
this a
idea.
genre specifically around host clubs, or is it
Also a good question.
a wider ranging genre around like dudes manipulating women for profit?
Wait, whoa.
Mad
So,
profit.
host clubs and hostess clubs are things that exist in Japan as
Okay.
businesses.
Okay.
And hostess clubs are a lot more popular than host clubs. But so a host, I guess
That
we'll
makes
go
sense.
start with
Yeah,
hostess.
tracks.
Yeah, hostess clubs are more or less what you see in the show, where it's like guys. I mean, this happens outside. It's the idea of a school having this as a club is kind of ridiculous because it's a real business where guys pay money to go in and just sit and talk and drink
I've heard of
with
this.
these girls that work there,
Okay.
Nice.
and like they'll like pour like bottles of champagne or like alcohol for them, and then they just talk or flirt
they have that
or
on
whatever and
Persona?
just have
On Persona 5, like they get video games.
probably
like, they have like because you can like walk around and see the places, and there's like a maid service, and you can't go in. Like you have to be a certain age, but they call it a
Yeah.
maid service. But I mean, what would you do?
that might be the same
at-
thing. I'm not sure if that's something.
What would you do at like a club called?
You just
Maid's?
talk to them like there's no. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
That's
assuming it's the
probably
same thing.
got like a maid theme to it. I'm
Yeah,
sure something along those
exactly.
lines, because that's also a thing. They love the maid outfit.
Yep.
That's a trope over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
But
part
yeah,
one.
so like that's
So
the thing.
What is the genre?
And then host clubs are the same thing but reversed.
Yeah.
The genre, this is a reverse harem technically.
harem? Remember the
romantic
Reverse
comedy,
harem?
reverse
Yeah.
harem.
I told you what it meant.
So a lot of shows I watch are harem shows, especially back in the day were harem shows where it's like the guy and all the girls around him and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Most of the time he has no idea that any of the girls around him are into him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's kind of a trope for that. And this is a similar thing where she's got all these guys that are more or less all over her, and she's just kind of like, oh, these idiots
Yeah. Okay.
being dumb. Like they flirt with girls for like their club activities, so of course this is still what they're doing, and she takes none of their shit.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
It's a reverse
She is
harem.
much more competent than most harem. Yeah, she is much more competent than most harem protagonists. Like much more competent. But I like that.
Yeah.
She's a strong, independent person. That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
The episode that probably bothers me the most is the one where they all get mad at her for standing up to the weird guys at the beach.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember that
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
That's the episode that probably bothers me the most, because it's like, shut up, she's fine.
Yeah.
Like what? Like she did nothing wrong. She had no reason to apologize in that one. But
Yeah.
whatever.
There's a lot of like weird stuff like that, and I'm not sure if it's just like of the time, you know, like 15 years ago, like gender has
Probably
become
a
such
little
topic of
bit.
conversation. It's like no longer an issue for like men to be super protective of women in that way, that very particular way. But yeah, there were things
Mm-hmm.
that kind of like threw me off, and I was just like, this is probably just A, it's a different culture, and B, it's 15 years ago.
As a woman, I didn't think anything of it.
mm,
Because if I was a woman that looked like a guy and I went to go fight two men, I mean, I think I would have got my ass kicked. I think my men, like my boyfriend or my friends, would have been like, "What are you doing?" Like,
yeah.
like I think I would have been like, "Yeah, they should be protecting." But I mean, I didn't think anything of it. It didn't bother me at all. But someone else could have been bothered. By
I guess
That's the only episode that I got a little uncomfortable with. The rest of them, I was like, whatever.
it.
Yeah,
it's
it
fine.
kind of goes hand in hand with just like Tamaki doting over her the entire show, which is like weird to me.
Yeah, the daddy thing's also kind of weird,
That show
right?
is bizarre,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Not a fan.
He wanted to be your dad, but he also wanted to date her.
Yeah.
No, he didn't realize he
He
wanted to
didn't
date her. Is
realize,
that what they
that's why I
kind of
think he
imply? And so
put
he
himself in that position because
processed those
Yeah.
feelings. Yeah.
Weird.
it's kind of like I don't even know how to explain it because like he doesn't know that he loves her in that way, and then he already had that statue before she came that he was the dad of the club and what's his name was the mom of the club, like as a joke, and then like they were the
Yeah.
kids,
Mm.
and so then when she came like, "Baba, I'm your daddy," blah, blah, like I don't know how to say her name, and then but like he didn't realize he loved her, so like
Yeah.
it was a weird situation because he did, and everyone knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's an idiot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
He's a
weird.
huge idiot. And then, everyone else slowly starts falling in love with her, too, and all that fun stuff.
It's also,
and
like, weird because, like, I think
the weird stuff with the twins.
the Times was, like, the word daddy. Like, I don't know how it was back then compared to, like, now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, it's really sexualized.
Yeah,
And,
that's
like,
true.
I don't know what it like, was back then. Because, like, I mean, how long was this ago?
2006.
I mean, I don't think I even knew
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that started either. I don't know.
So it could have been, like...
It seems
I don't
like it's
think
a
it
newer
was
thing.
back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If like, because we could see it easily like as a sexual thing, but
Yeah.
back then it could just been like literal dad and literal
Yeah.
lover. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think we misinterpreted the twin sexual things. Those were
No,
pretty-
definitely.
No, that was...
well,
I
like,
forgot
it's so
that
hard
they-
to, like, I love them so much. Like, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
them. Like, not their sexual thing. That's just so over dramatic. Like that's another thing that bothered me was the whole over dramatic. It didn't have to happen every time they were like in the host club at the music room. Like,
It was part of the fun
I know,
of
I
it.
get it. Like they were doing it to make other people happy. Like it made them happy, and that's what they liked. Okay, but I don't know the culture. I literally don't know anything about this culture and anime. So whatever. But I like the twins just how they were, like being funny, like and just being goofy around. With Tamaki, like that was my thing about them, and their character development was one of my favorite character developments in the show. But the whole sexual thing, I mean, you watch them grow from like one soul to two people throughout the whole show. I mean, it looked like they had such a sad bringing up.
Yeah.
I mean, I only know one pair of twins, and they're two separate people, but I've known them for a long time, so you don't really like. I mean, you guys met them. You met them when they were drunk.
Yeah.
So, I've known
Classic.
them my whole life, but they like, like they're separate people, but like also like going through college, like they had a hard time like being separate. Like, so it comes like I can't imagine like like having twins and them not being separate at all and being completely alone. Like that'd be hard. That'd be a hard plot to go around.
Yeah.
But the sexualized thing was just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I don't know the culture.
those two, Hikaru and Karu, play into, I think, what my main criticism is, that, like, for the first half of the show, they're literally just, like, horny for each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, why am I invested in this? And then at
Yeah.
the back end, they actually have, like, a cool backstory. I like seeing their childhood. I like that they kind of, like, split off from each other, and, like, which one is it that realizes they're not gonna... Hikaru.
Hikaru, yeah.
Hikaru, like, is like, this can't last forever, like, I know this, and Kaoru is still, like, enveloped in all this, and one of them gets jealous about Haruhi, and it's like, okay, cool, like, they're actual real people, they're not just, like, horny as fuck brothers. So, like, and that, I, like, at first, that was, like, I was like, this is a lot. Every time they, like, came in and close and, like, whispered to each other, and, like, sleep next to me, like,
To be
I was
fair-
like, this is, like, weird, man.
You know they're not really like that.
To
at
be fair,
home.
it
I
is...
know,
Okay.
But there are also scenes where they
Yeah.
wake up shirtless together.
But
like,
that's because they slept
Yeah,
together their
that's-
whole life.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, that plays into that dynamic, though. If they're talking about how close they are and never sleeping alone, and they're actually doing it, like, it is kind of how they are.
I don't know. Allie was
Yeah.
my next door neighbor, and she slept over at my house, and at high school.
Yeah, but this is not your twin brother.
She was basically my sister.
Yeah, but were you sexy with each other? No.
They
Like,
weren't, but they weren't sexy with each other at home.
we don't know that, though.
Also, the one guy was on the floor, and the one guy was in the bed. He knocked him
that
out.
was only the one time.
Knocked him out. It's like,
That was the
"Good."
twin bed situation.
Yeah, I don't know.
But...
That shit threw me off.
I mean, it's not like they're spooning, so... But still.
But anyway,
I get
They're
it.
grown men.
it's weird.
They're definitely playing it up in the host club, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's like they do it because that's what some of the girls are into, which is...
Is that a cultural thing? Like, I don't understand. Is that like a... Like,
I mean, kinda. Like, that is not an uncommon theme for, like, the weird sibling stuff in
Brothers being
anime to,
horny
like,
for
have a
each other.
thing.
Yeah, it was
That just, like, an overall...
Homies
just, like,
sucking homies.
brothers.
I was trying to think of what you guys used to say, and I was like...
We used to say
what
that all
used
the
to say? I couldn't think of it.
So, it's not... Like, this is not an uncommon trope.
That's
Whether
like the
it's-
first thing I said, like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, Jacob, I
man.
hate... Like, I don't know what to do now because you hated it. So, like, I don't
Let's
know.
let
what-
Kyle
No, keep
talk about
going.
it a
Keep
bit.
going.
I'll-
Keep going with what you were saying, Trevor. I cut you off.
Yeah, like that's one thing that's always kind of weird for people who are just getting into anime. Like even stuff where it's not like just the twin brothers, it's just like any sibling stuff. They'll like throw in weird moments of like too much affection and stuff like that. And certain shows play it up to like the nth degree where it's like they immediately have to state, well, we're not siblings by blood, and then it's like, oh, that makes it okay. It's like what? Oh, this is weird. Yeah. So this show is definitely poking fun at stuff like that somewhat, but it's still a thing that people have to get, you almost like become numb to as you watch more and more shows. It's like, who cares? Yeah. Whatever. It's not real. It's moving on. Yeah, it's strange, but whatever, twin incest. Yeah. There you go. Cobb, they call it out straight up for what the trope is at one point. So
Cobb, thoughts, like general thoughts. Obviously, you don't like. We don't.
Come on.
We're not inviting you to shit on it, but like, is there anything you did like about the show?
I mean, I liked what was the guy's name?
You didn't like Honey, the little guy?
Not really.
What the
no.
fuck?
Kyoya was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Kyoya.
The dude who's like their manager basically. Yeah, he was just doing the numbers. Did
you like Honey's strong guy?
Honey's like
Takashi.
Takashi, yeah.
Takashi, yeah. I mean, he was cool because he didn't really have any like weird shit either. He was just silent and vibing, and he was like taking care of Honey Senpai for whatever reason. That was their dynamic.
Yeah. Their family dynamic, like he had a family.
Because of the tradition.
The one plot line about the what's the guy's name? Ritsu, I guess. Casanova, that guy. Casanova.
Yeah. Casanova.
That storyline, those 2 episodes, was probably one of the better arcs in my opinion, but I still think it could have been better. Like I wanted them to go more into the criminal underworld. Like they made it seem so fucking soft. And like he was just like,
I mean, that's part of the fun of it. Like
I know, I just wanted more. I like like what do you mean this guy's like some sort of
go
to
a different
criminal.
show.
You wanted it to be a boys show.
I wanted something, dude. I didn't want them to, he just wanted
He's
I just
Yakuza,
want friends.
basically.
I look angry. It's like this fucking guy, dude. But
also,
no, I mean,
voice actor for him, great voice actor. That is All Might from My Hero Academia, which
really
is another
familiar.
great show that
like,
you guys will see eventually.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he sounded really familiar.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry, Jacob.
But yeah, I think Kyoya was my favorite. I thought his backstory was the best backstory too.
Yeah, I agree.
The one with his dad and the brothers and stuff. Because I feel like that one makes a lot of sense. Like being outshined by your older siblings or whatever.
Did you like the episode where like he wakes up and they only had like 3 hours of sleep and they went to the mall? That's a really good episode for him.
Yeah,
I love that episode.
Yeah, that was a nice little bottle episode where it was just Kyoya and Haruhi.
Yeah, and like you dig into him and like how he's playing, that he doesn't care about anything, but he actually does care a lot. I like that a lot.
With helping out that lady.
Yeah.
Cute. So not a Honey fan.
You're not a Honey fan?
No, not really. He was a weird little guy, wasn't he? He was just a little teddy bear
yeah,
man.
he was. He was
I don't
little
get it
sick,
it was,
badass
it was
teddy bear man.
Cool that he had like a badass side where he could just like take people down. He's like a lethal weapon.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Again, like first half of the show, he's just like a 4
He's just a baby.
He's a 4
He's
foot
a baby
17-year-old,
man.
and I don't understand why.
The main character, the girl.
Yeah,
he's like just as tall as the girl. So like all the guys are really.
I thought
tall.
he was shorter.
No,
he's shorter than her.
He's almost as tall as her.
He's shorter than Haruhi.
Dude, he's like 2 feet tall.
God, no.
He's very short.
When he stands next to her, like he's only.
Haruhi looks down at him.
Yeah, but he's only a little bit shorter than her.
Anyway, they first half of the season, I'm like, this is just freaky. Like I don't understand why a 17-year-old is acting like this.
This is freaky, man.
But then you get a good story though. Like all the kung fu stuff is dope. Yeah. I love that, like, his whole sweets thing, like, he has a good backstory. And, like, again, like, if I had that, like, why don't they just switch the 2 halves?
But they still don't even do that much with it.
I feel like they still could have done more with it. At least I have some backstory to why he is the way he is, like... I kept, like, almost asking her, like, why the fuck is this 17-year-old a 6-year-old.
I love him.
Like, what's the point? And like, why are girls attracted to a literal
I
child?
don't like that at all.
Like, it's all weird. It's weird.
That is that's the Shotokan thing.
Yeah.
That's
That's a
a
huge
whole
thing, yeah.
That shit's
subgenre
weird
as
as
well.
fuck.
I don't like a lot of that
I'm not.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not here to kink shame, but that shit is weird. And yeah, I mean, so like again, I was very thrown off every time he was on, just like with the twins being all horny for each other for the first 10 episodes. But then you actually get this character development. It's like, oh, okay, they're not just horny stereotypes. They actually have depth to them. And I just don't. And that was one of the questions I had for you, Trev, is like, I'm kind of sensing a pattern where a lot of the time I come in and talk about anime and I'm like, I hate the start and I love the end. Why do they save plot development for like the fucking ass end of every show? Like, why is there a major plot happening in the end credits of the entire show? Like, what's the point of that? I was so thrown off.
I don't know.
Like, why is this?
I couldn't tell you why.
2 minutes of a 26 episode show, like, it just doesn't make any sense, and it frustrates me that like they're clearly capable of a coherent plot, but it's just not their priority, you know. And again, that just may be the way it is. But for me, as someone who's grown up with serialized television, it's like so hard to get invested in because I have to watch 10 episodes of like, in this case, stuff that makes me vaguely uncomfortable.
No, it was hard for me too.
For sure.
It was hard for me too.
I feel that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember watching it for the first time, but I just remember, I don't remember what I was thinking. I just remember now thinking this time, like, oh, like, I can't wait till we get to the character developments. And I don't know if it was because you were there and I knew, like, you were judging it. I don't know if that's why, but I just was like, none of this matters until, like, none of this literally matters until you know how Kaoru is and now how Honey is and what it all means. Because, like, if you don't know these characters, like, I'm sitting there watching it, like, I freaking love all these people so much. And, like, and then, like, it's just weird. It's because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, it
just
makes
weird.
sense because when you were,
I feel like that's
when you
classic.
were so happy to see them, I was like,
When I was
like,
we
we
turned it on, and I was like, and Honey is running with his little bunny, and I'm just
this is so fucking strange.
and like, and he's like, this is so weird. I'm like, I couldn't sit there and be like, you don't even know because like.
It makes more sense in hindsight. Because like coming in halfway, I was definitely like closer to a 4 or a 5 because I was like, I don't give a shit about this, but like they do. I mean, they do a decent job of characterization towards the end. I also actually no, Cap, go ahead because you were just about to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that's classic whenever you show somebody something that you've seen before or watched multiple times, especially when you're showing it to them in person. You're like constantly looking over to them being like, you fucking love this, right? And then they're like, they like half don't get it and half are like, you know?
Trying to make you feel better about it or whatever.
I just kept being like, can't tell you.
That's why I kind of like this podcast, though.
Yeah, that makes it easier. You don't have to say anything.
I do think one of the cool things about this show is its relationship with gender, you know, beyond all like the kind of weird stereotype and like stuff that we've already discussed, like the fact that Haruhi,
the Zuka Club,
Zuka Club, Lobelia Academy. We have to get into that because I have some things to say. But I think like the gender stuff is cool. Like obviously it's a little dicey because like you meet Haruhi's dad and he identifies as female, or you know, she identifies as female. But then they call her tranny and stuff like that's like.
Does he though? Because I was confused whether he was just like a drag queen, like because he said it was his profession.
Oh. I think he's more of a drag queen.
But then they were referring to him as transgender, and it's not the same thing.
Yeah, so maybe that's just a holdover of like.
It's not, but this is 2006.
Right.
I think that's like the terms weren't.
Queen,
But like, you know, it was like. Cool to see that they're like kind of just like gender is not really a huge deal to us, like we're not going to make a big deal out of it, in addition to all this other weirdo shit that is happening.
I was gonna say gender shouldn't like matter if we're going all in this weird shit
so that was cool, you know. It was like relatively progressive for being 15 years ago, at least it seemed to be. Maybe it wasn't, and I am blind to some stuff. Like I mean, was a Prairie Prisoner.
I think it is.
Damn, that was
But
I do have a question while we're on this real quick. Did you guys know going in that the main character was a girl?
No.
Okay, when did you realize it?
when
Because
She sounds
know
like her
exactly when.
Every time a light bulb went off, I was looking at him like,
Yeah, I asked her at one point in the first episode, is this a female voice actor? And then I was like, wait, I was like, don't tell me.
2 minutes in.
Yeah, because
I was like, I don't know.
it's very different. Like, it's clearly, different timbre of voice than the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
But I didn't make
I already
them
knew
feel
the
it.
premise, so
Okay.
I
okay.
knew it was a girl already.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I didn't
Well,
know.
it like
See, I
says it in
didn't-
the show caption. It like basically like it's.
Oh, I didn't see
I-
that.
I guess.
Yeah, so I knew it was a
don't
female
know.
voice actor, but didn't think twice about it being, Haruhi being a female until it was revealed.
It was really funny to see like someone
yeah.
watch it be revealed.
And I was like, oh, that's what the light bulbs were.
Okay.
I was
was
like,
like-
oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay, for me too, totally. It took me until they straight up just told me. Like the
Yeah.
last light bulb went off, and they're like, "You're a girl." I'm like,
Oh.
my first girl was like, "Oh!" And then I told my friend that, and they were like, "You didn't realize?"
That's
I
so
picked up
funny.
on it like the second light bulb, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Funny. No.
"Well,
That's
shit.
how I was.
Okay, I guess." Yeah, I
That
was
is
like,
funny.
"Oh,
So yeah, let's talk
Okay,
about
yeah, back to-
Lobelia.
Oh God, no.
Bro, what's up with that Nazi stuff?
Lobelia."
They did not. See
That's a thing in
That's a
anime
good
in
question.
general. I'm not gonna lie. They the yeah,
Classic
Squirm.
Nazi anime.
Seeing Trevor squirm is so worth it.
It's just
Like,
like when we
'cause
brought it up in
Trevor has
freaking Black
mentioned-
Lagoon.
I've
Trevor has mentioned
Yeah, I've
in
brought
past
this up.
episodes that like some animes do have some kind of weird fetishization of Nazi memorabilia or like paraphernalia,
I hate them.
and we've never
just like or trends like
yeah, we haven't
it's-
seen it up until now, and like all of a sudden they're like goose stepping, throwing Heil Hitler signs, and have like a very they have a it's not a swastika flag, but it is very close.
it's reminiscent.
And I was
yeah,
like, what the
it's
fuck is happening right now? Like what's the point of that? I just don't get it.
I could have done without every single
It's-
episode with them.
Yeah, she hates
I
Lobelia.
freaking can't stand.
yeah,
I didn't
I'm not
like
a fan
them
of the
either. I
Zuka
didn't like
Club
those
either.
two
If
plots.
they could take those out and
No.
just get rid of them.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, Zuka Club is not
I
great.
think that first one with them was the episode where Abby saw me physically in pain watching.
I was physically in pain watching it.
When she was telling me like,
Yeah?
maybe you should stop, and I was like, no, I'm
I was
gonna
also
finish.
physically in pain.
I love Abby just like secretly being an agent of chaos on this podcast.
Well, she was just watching me there, seeing me in pain, watching like 8 episodes in a row. I'm just like,
That's I was like on my phone when they were on, and I would just be like, just like waiting for them to be off screen. I just can't
I like
Yeah.
stand them.
the one thing I did like about them was that overhead shot of them dancing down the sidewalk and they're doing like little spins. That was just, it was animated cool. That's all I've got for them.
yeah,
They're Nazis and they dance.
oh.
they're
There was
weird,
a funny
yeah.
joke though, where when they were making the movie or whatever, and every time the girl like asked the director if they got the
Renge?
shot, they're like, "Got it, boss." And
Renge?
got us-
The
that part
manager?
that part made me laugh. It's just these like
Not
almost
Steven Spielberg.
expressionless dudes in the back, just
Yeah.
like saying they got it every time.
Renge.
Let's talk about Renge then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to this.
Powerful Motor is maybe like the best running bit in the entire show. Every time Powerful Motor comes on, I
Oh,
get
she was
So
on the-
funny.
I get so hyped.
He would literally say, he'd be like, "Powerful motor."
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It's like something you'd see at like a concert.
The funny
She,
thing
like,
for
had
me-
a whole thing going.
Yeah, Renge is
Her voice
a
is
great
amazing.
character in every episode other than her first episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I do not like her that much in her first episode because
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
had kind of
she's
like
just annoying.
forgotten
Like,
that was even the same person because
Really?
like she just
voice.
completely
Oh,
changes her thing. She just like she just drops that first
Yeah.
episode and becomes this insane manager that pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, which is absurd.
well, she keeps the persona in a way. Like she keeps her expertise on these tropes that all the boys are basically playing into throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're not playing it up right. And then like when Casanova comes in, she like comes in to try and
Casanova.
help him, and she also comes in to try and help Nekazawa with his stuff, like the training in the dark room and all that fun
Oh,
crap.
Yeah, the flashlight.
She's great as like just this extreme foil of like more or less who the show is for, kind of. She kind of represents the audience in a way
Makes sense.
And I don't know. I do love her later on, and all of her cosplay bullshit's
Oh, yeah,
great.
that's a good
And-
villain.
She's good comic relief
Yeah.
for sure. After that first episode,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The first episode where she brings in Steven Spielberg to make a movie is just insanity.
yeah,
But I do love like whenever Kyoya breaks the lens on the camera to like end the filming or whatever, and everyone's like, "Oh, I guess the movie's done," and then I'm like, "Wait, but that didn't destroy the footage. What are you talking about?" Like internally, because I had forgotten how the episode ends. And then later on, he's like, "I just broke the lens. Like, of course I kept some of the footage,
He's so
and was
Yeah.
gonna make him money off of that."
Yeah, I love him.
It's so good.
I have a question. So,
Sorry.
Trevor and Jacob, are you able to tell the twins apart? If so, how?
No.
No?
No,
Okay, I knew
no
it.
Voice
shot,
actor,
dude, no
basically.
shot.
What? Trevor, what did you say?
For me, like, I can never remember which. Like, I know know which one is which because of the voice actor.
That's what I
Like,
said.
there's two different voice actors
Mine's the
for
vo-
it,
like
and
the
they sound
voice.
different. So
I asked William,
Yeah.
like, on the last episode, I said, "So are you able to tell the difference between the twins?" And he was like, "I think one part's there this way and one part's there this
Well,
way."
they
I
do.
said, "Well, they change it. They're supposed to change it up. That's
Yeah.
what they say." And I said, "But it's always, like, I've always said it, do it by the voice because
Yeah.
they're different."
I was
And
like
so
kind of.
I
I was
showed
kind of on
him.
point.
Yeah, you were. So I showed him, like, how to hear it. I mean, that's all. I was just really curious.
it's good stuff.
That's all.
No, yeah, like I mean, I've never been good at telling. Like, honestly, I have cousins that aren't even twins that just look somewhat similar.
Yeah.
And I
Don't
still
say
have
it,
trouble
dude.
remembering which name goes to which.
Christ.
What?
What
my
the
boss
fuck?
is- my boss.
You're like,
is-
who are you?
Stop.
I am the worst at names of
Jeez.
anyone
Listen
I've
to this
ever met.
podcast.
That's brutal.
That's bad.
I have like there's certain cousins that look literally nothing alike, but I still don't remember which name goes to which one. So I'm just like I have like a little thing that I go through in my head for like this
A family
that
tree.
name.
That's
And I have to do that every time before I talk to them, and it takes me like a couple of seconds.
How many
So like if
cousins
I'm
do you
trying to
have?
reference them, I'm like I have a lot of cousins.
That's why.
Because I have
I don't know all my cousins'
but
names.
and not even that. I'm just bad at names. I'm terrible at names. Like I didn't know Jacob's name for like what 4 months when I first met you.
Something like that.
Like, and we talked like every day. Like,
You just call him Swear
Trevor's a
Boy.
bad person.
I just called him
dude,
bro.
I was
And
wearing
dude.
my cardigan like every single day back then.
you did wear that cardigan, that legendary cardigan, all the time. And then our teacher finally called me out on it. She's like, "Trevor, do you know his name?" And I'm like,
Big shout outy man.
You're like, you bitch.
"Yeah, man, yeah." I'm like, "Damn it. I was getting by. I was going to figure it out eventually."
Oh my God.
Such a
I know
bastard.
nobody worse at names than me. Like,
Yeah, your own family. That's pretty
I'm bad at
bad.
birthdays.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
boss's
Birthdays
daughter,
are
like
tough.
they have twins, like twin girls, and they look exactly like, and they're as tall as me, and they're like 9 years old, and I could not tell them apart at all. And I was like, crap.
twins are hard, man.
One of them like doing
So-
a
All right, so
picture,
Who
like,
are
trying
you
to tell it
guys'
apart, like,
who are you guys' favorite characters? Because I already said who mine was.
who was it? Oh yeah. he
Mine
did.
was
I forgot.
the
Sure.
glasses guy,
Yeah, the manager. Like,
Kyoya
Kyoya.
Otori of
Kyoya.
the Otori group.
you go ahead. You go.
No,
first.
you go because I have to think about it.
No, you go.
I have to think about
No,
it.
you.
Okay, Trevor.
Okay.
it Trevor?
Honestly, Haruhi is one of my favorites as main character,
Cop
but
out
like
answer.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Lame
I
wad.
do like Kyoya. I do really like Kyoya a lot. Because Kyoya's just he's just always on it. He's always got it going on, you know? He's just things are just going. The twins are fine, I guess. I really do like Mori or Takashi. Mori senpai. He's great.
Honey's
Just his
Bodyguard.
quiet,
Honey's
stoic.
bodyguard,
Yeah, he's probably my
Yeah.
favorite also. I like
He's
his,
really cool.
I like that one episode with the cake
Yeah.
where he's like so devastated that he like
Honey got
is
it.
failing honey
Toothache.
by like
Oh, the cavity?
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, I'd probably
that's a
say
good
him.
one.
I think I agree with Kyoya. Tamaki is my least favorite.
Really? Interesting. I mean,
Marissa
fair. I understand.
devastated.
I fucking hate Tamaki. He comes around at the end, But it's like so close to the end that like I spent 22 episodes despising him. So he just is super creepy with Haruhi. I don't get their relationship. I don't know why he's so overbearing. I understand.
They're
like
playing up the fact that he's half French, I guess,
Yeah.
So
Oh.
like they're trying to play up that.
He's like
I didn't realize it was a
What's
French
up?
stereotype thing.
Well, French people are
Yeah.
supposed to be like
It was
Very
like a weird.
romantic.
very romantic.
Yeah.
Romantic.
Oh.
So like, yeah, I don't know. He's just a bit much for me throughout. You know, again, like most of them, they come around towards the end. But if I had to pick a least favorite, it would definitely be him. I think the twins are on equal footing for the first half, but then they get a lot more plot than he does.
Yeah.
It's more.
Yeah, the twins get like an insane amount of plot,
Yeah,
like
they do
character
get a lot.
development in comparison to the rest of the
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, Honey is a lot.
So cute.
I love the kung fu aspect, but everything else is kind of wild to
Yeah.
me.
I love him. But you don't like when he fights with his brother, and his brother's like, he's an alien.
That there's a good episode. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
That
I
was
like that
funny.
episode.
Eat 5 cakes in one sitting.
Yeah,
That's
but then
not
like
real.
in that episode, like he comes into the dining room at night and he's like creepy and like just a table full of cake.
Yeah.
That's how his brother saw it, though.
That's how it was.
Because he's scared. Okay.
That is how
That's-
it
He's a
was.
reliable
I can
narrator.
It might have been.
Whatever.
reliable narrator. Um, yeah.
Oh my god.
What about you?
I really can't decide between the twins and Honey, but I'm gonna say the twins because they got the most character development.
Yeah.
So you got a lot.
I mean, I think that makes sense, I guess, because there's 2 of them,
Yeah.
and I get in a sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Because they come from the same background, but there's 2 of them. So I guess you have to talk about both of them in a sense.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would say them because honestly, I laughed at almost every single joke they told, off screen and in the in the background when they're joking, like in an animated way,
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
if they're in the front screen, and they're like making fun of Tamaki, which is most of the show.
Yeah.
For me is hilarious, and they're like, "Are you
Yeah.
sure, boss?" Like, I love it. I like how when they're making like just shitting on him is just my favorite.
Yeah.
And then like most of their games is just to like piss him off, which is just great.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah.
what their character development, I mean, I was like sad. I was like almost crying. I didn't really cry, but I was almost crying, just like going through their childhood development, and then them like like Karu like realizing they were gonna split, but they're not splitting. It was weird that one was like not realizing that he was in love, but the other one was realizing. I was like, that's so sweet. Like, that's really cute. And then Honey, I just think he's so cute. Like, not in like a real, like the way that they were portraying it. I just think he's adorable when he's like, Haruhi, and he's like running and he's like hugging his little bunny. I just think he's adorable. And then how he can
Yeah.
just be like evil and a second later because someone woke him up. I think those plots go well. So cute. Like, I love it. And then, I mean, every character is so great. I love all of them. Like, I mean, the main character is not.
They are all
like,
great.
I think she's fine. She's not my favorite, but
Yeah.
her reactions to them definitely play like a very important role because they're all like, we're rich kids who have too much time on their hands, and she's like, ugh, like she's definitely really important because
She's an honor student who's
Yeah.
like trying her hardest, and it's
she's
Yeah.
like, y'all are
these
dumb.
idiots around her.
But they're not all idiots, which is really interesting. Like, they're all really smart.
Well, no, yeah.
And Tamaki, like, obviously he's not like an idiot. He just is like, his common sense is probably a little bit slower than everyone, but he's actually really smart. They're all really smart people, and she thinks they're all stupid, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And you don't get that until
Well,
the
except
end,
Kyoya.
obviously.
She knows Kyoya's smart as
Yeah.
shit.
So maybe that's why the
But-
character development is like slow. It doesn't have to be that slow, but maybe that's why, because they're becoming friends, and you don't develop friends that fast, but
Fair.
like close friends that fast. But so maybe that's why. I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
knowledge.
If it
on any
wasn't
of
a
that
thing that
stuff.
I've noticed in previous animes, I think that would have more weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a fair point. What did you guys think of the ending?
Yeah. I want to hear what you guys think first. Yeah. What do you guys think of that?
Cobb.
Me?
Jacob, let's go with you because you seem upset.
I'm not upset. I
He's
just
like, I have to remember it real quick because
it was like really. It was a while ago. Now I did kind of shoot a lot of it out of my mind.
Yeah,
after
that's what I'm
finished
saying.
watching.
Yeah, I already.
It was really it was very dramatic. The horse carriage chasing the car was
Oh my god.
was crazy. And like the
Yeah.
slow motion dive. It's like what
Incredible.
the fuck?
We were just laughing
Also,
so
why
hard.
did that girl always have binoculars on?
We asked her-
like
we were like,
always
is she
like the
blind?
Is she
opera
blind?
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was like,
That's
in, the
in my
shower,
notes even.
and
I
she's,
don't
like,
even
has
know
them
why.
on. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is happening?
She just has really dog shit vision.
that's-
Yeah, I didn't like her. She was a bitch.
Yeah, fuck her.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it was like a weird situation. It was like a captive fiance.
Yeah.
At the end, It was
Arranged marriage
very
kinda thing.
fucking strange. Yeah, his family sucks. That
Rich
grandma
fam-
is
I mean,
the
rich,
worst.
Yeah.
Rich families still do that today too.
Yeah, they like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
His mom becomes like an indentured servant in France, which is like a weird fucking thing that happens too. Yeah, you know. I don't really have
I
a
echo
ton
the
to
same
say
thoughts.
about
I think. I think it was sweet. You know, like that they. Like I was surprised that it was like, oh, this is like actually like a nice finale. You know, like they're like realizing how much they need Tamaki and how important he is to all of them, and he being all. Like,
It's
bummed
definitely a
out.
different tone, I feel like, than the rest of the show.
Yeah.
The last like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, they don't care about me. Like, I'm just a burden on them. And then like he gets that like nice little redemption. Yeah. Then the dive off the bridge is just
Oh my god.
like, why? She's gonna be fine. You don't need
Fucking
to
ridiculous.
like
Dead.
And also, like, of course,
But it's
of course
romantic.
They like give you just that split second of like they're about to kiss and then they just hug. You know, like I feel like they do that
Oh,
so
I didn't
much.
think that. But maybe-
Because they
I thought they were
pause
gonna
like
kiss.
this.
I don't know why
and
they
then
didn't.
They hug.
Because
Friends.
we don't know who she's ending up with yet.
Got zoned, homie.
So does the manga goes
Who do you-
beyond this?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh,
apparently, the
wow.
manga ended actually in 2012.
Wow, that's wild.
Apparently,
What?
or no, 2010.
Why was there only one season of the
damn.
show?
Yeah, there's 18 volumes.
Whoa.
I don't know why there's only one season.
Yeah, it seems like they could have
wonder if
easily
it'll-
made more of this show because
Yeah,
it's
it seems
basically
like
like an
they could have
animated sitcom. You know, you could just do anything with it.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of stuff adaptations though. There's a visual novel that includes 2 new characters, and there's a live action TV show and film. Wow.
Oh, I
Live
literally
action
saw,
of
I
this?
googled it. Stop! I googled it and I saw the live action. I was like, I literally immediately had to like leave. I didn't want to know anything about it. I was like,
Was
I
it
don't
made
wanna
in Japan?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay. Well, I mean, you never know, dude. They make live action remakes
Fair.
in America all the time.
The Office.
That's true. That's true. Death Note. It was terrible.
They just wrapped
Any-
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, really?
I hope it's
my-
okay. I really hope it's
It's
okay.
not gonna be. Why would you hope that?
Like,
It's gonna be dog
because
shit.
I don't want it to be bad.
You guys still
Good
gotta
to
show
know,
that
but I
to
don't
me.
want it. We will.
We will.
We're gonna show
Now
it.
that we've finally hit the precipice of having 2 people seeing the episode. So, although to be fair, 2 of us still have to talk like we're new to it. You know, it's a guest and a host, which I guess isn't quite
Yeah.
the same. We're talking about Trevor and I bringing something for Jacob.
Oh, okay.
We want to show him Cowboy Bebop.
The only thing I really liked about the ending was when the dads are like agreeing that they're gonna be friends,
Yeah.
and then he says, "Well, I want her to be my son's wife," and then he's like, "Well, that's one thing I can't accept."
Yeah, they're like fighting over Haruhi.
They're fighting over Haruhi to be like.
I know, it's so
Yeah, that
good.
part doesn't make any sense to me because I feel like those guys would be extremely classist and wouldn't want their sons to
I think
be anywhere near her.
I think
But they met her.
yeah.
I know, but still, like, these guys are like these hardened, stuck in their ways, like, classist businessmen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it is weird. No, it is weird.
Kyoya's dad for
I
sure.
think because she goes to this.
it seems like it
Um,
comes
kinda
out of
different.
nowhere.
Like she's like
Yeah.
kind of in this society. I think it'd be a lot different if she didn't go to the school. But again, I don't know because I agree
Yeah.
with that. Like it's like it when you think about it like that way. Like yeah, it's weird, but I think they're like so freaking rich that they don't have to worry about who they're marrying. Like, I don't
But
think
these guys, it was like just a plot line though about how that guy married the French lady.
Well, the
and
grandma
then
cares.
because of the family got booted out.
Yeah, the grandma gives
It's like
a
so
shit.
much about bloodline and like family. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know.
The dad.
Yeah, the
doesn't
grandma
care.
was the main one.
Well, yeah. The grandma was the main issue with that, and like
Yeah, she
also
sucked.
I
Fuck
don't
that
think
woman.
Haruhi
I don't
is,
think
like-
the dad cares. Like, I think the grandma cares, and then the other dad, the one that slapped his son, like, I think he realized
mean.
like he's different,
Kyoya's
he's
dad, yeah.
better, and he's gonna do great things. And then
Yeah,
Also, he doesn't
bought
have to
the
worry
fucking
about the
company.
third son
what?
really marrying. Like, he doesn't have to worry about the third son marrying somebody good because it's the third son. Who cares? Kind of situation
Yeah.
almost.
Well,
But
Also,
also
he
not
just
really,
proved
because
him
at the
wrong.
end he did buy the company
He just proved him wrong too.
He did buy the company
Yeah.
and then gave it back.
And then,
with
what
with the
else?
funds from the club, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Probably
insane.
some.
They
That
made
was probably
much
external
money.
stuff. I think that was external stuff that he did it
He's
with.
been drug
like,
dealing with
stock
Casanova.
stock stuff.
Yeah, Bossa Nova.
Stop. What was I gonna say? I forgot. I don't know. Go on.
I'll say the ending. I think what you think. I do like the ending. It is very overdramatic, which kind of makes sense with how the rest of the show goes, in my opinion. I really love actually the scene with the dads talking about, like, they're basically like hinting at like, hey, the rest of the story is going to be seeing who she ends up with. Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of
But then no season
them
2.
hinting. Which it doesn't need a season
Do you
2.
want
To
me to
be
read
fair,
a
this show.
manga? That's not gonna happen, brother.
I'm gonna read it. I'm already started.
Gosh.
Only full-on weebs like you will do that.
There's
dude.
12 volumes, and apparently the show goes up to about volume 8. Is what
What?
it's according to this. According to this,
Bro, that's so long. What the fuck?
No.
that's not uncommon.
This was 8
I mean-
volumes
Classic
of a
Trevor.
book? Jesus Christ.
Well, of a manga, it's different.
No.
So
It's not
each
actually
volume
that
would be.
uncommon.
It's not. But I'm not kidding. Like,
I know,
there's
you're
so
just
many.
classic, dude.
There's so many shows over the years that I've watched where I'm like, damn, I want a season 2, and I look and they basically made the first season of the anime as like, go buy the manga. This whole season is an advertisement. Go buy the manga. We're not making any more. I'm like, well,
It's fucked up.
I'm not gonna do that but nowadays I guess I will because whatever.
Yeah.
What else are we gonna
I've
do?
started reading.
The one thing I forgot to say
But-
was oh, you're not done. You're not done. Go on.
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
done. No, I'm
Was
done.
you mentioned like you forgot is this like the symbolism when the horses crash and they land in the pumpkins.
Yeah.
And there was like great symbolism because the pumpkin patch, like he was using the pumpkin patch earlier in the Halloween episode as like a symbolism of them being like a family and all that stuff and blah blah blah. I was just mentioning that, like
The
that
Cinderella thing.
Was, yeah, it was
Yeah.
like that was the other thing, and then yeah, I think that was it. I can't remember the episode before that, like to start the ending. I think it was just yeah.
It's just
Right on.
nothing really.
Yeah.
The redhead with the binoculars comes in
Yeah.
and is like light
Yeah.
bulbing on.
So
Haruhi.
apparently that whole arc actually never happens in the manga. I'm looking at it now. Apparently they added those last 2 episodes for the anime
Why are you
as
looking
a-
at it if you're reading? You're rooting it for yourself.
Just to finally like wrap it up.
because I was trying
Yeah.
to see where it ended, and I just thought I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I mean it
Spoilies.
makes sense. They had
As
to
long as
wrap
they
it.
don't tell me who she ends up with at the end, then that's
Yeah, that's fair.
then I don't care.
That's fair.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I was considering skipping ahead, but now that I know they added stuff, I'm gonna probably read through it all.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I do. Yeah, I love Haruhi in this show. She definitely formed my preference for short-haired tomboys.
Nice.
And on that
Definitely
note,
was part of that.
Yeah, and he
Her
final
long hair
thoughts?
look is bad. Her long hair look is bad whenever they show her. It's bad.
All right.
Sucks.
All right.
Sorry. On that note, yeah. Wait, well, who do you guys think she should end up with? I want to
None
hear
of
this
them.
opinion.
None of them. Yeah, I agree.
None of
None of them.
None of them?
None of them.
Marissa, none of them?
no, she's pissed at that answer.
She should end up with Bossa Nova.
I'm okay with that.
That's my opinion.
Okay, that's a valid point. That's a valid.
vibe the
That's a
best.
valid.
Yeah, they had chemistry.
So done. Boom. That's my
I do.
dropping it. So
Who do you
Okay,
think?
I do love his
I
like
think she
whole
should end
thing
up,
where he's trying to
with-
figure out.
The twin that like loves her.
Okay, one of the twins then. Hikaru.
Yeah, I don't think she should.
All right, all
Tamaki
right.
Or anything. I think it would do really good for Hikaru and Kaoru to split. I mean, you can literally still.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And
That's
she's
fair.
the only one to tell them apart.
Yeah.
To be honest, like she was the only one to be like, "No, you guys switched hair. Like, he's the one with blue hair, and you're the one with pink hair today." Like, I think that was really important. And they seemed to like.
That was cool. That was a cool
She seemed to
scene.
not have chemistry with anyone except for like the twins. To be honest, like chemistry, like
And Bossa Nova.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bossa Nova for sure.
No.
Casanova.
Oh, and like to me, Tamaki, like they didn't have to me they don't have chemistry.
Yeah, because Tamaki's like a creepy dad.
Yeah, Tamaki's crazy. He is her dad, technically.
Oh my gosh.
Technically,
Father
what?
Tamaki.
I like when Bossa Nova, whatever. He was like, "Wait, you're her dad?" And he's like, "Well, no." And she's like, "So you're like married to her mom?" And she's like, "No, I have never met her mom." And he's like, "So you're not actually." Like it just like calls him out on it.
Just tearing down all of his like weird fantasies,
Weird
just
things,
one by
yeah.
one.
It was cool.
No, I love Bossa Nova's stuff, especially him trying to like whenever he like first thinks that Haruhi's cute, and he's like, "That's a guy," and he's like trying to come to terms with
Yeah.
like himself
He's like, "That's a guy," but, like,
on all that stuff.
He like acts like a girl. I'm confused.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
"What do I do?" And then immediately resolve that with him just walking in. But still, anyways, I guess we'll wait for Jacob to come back, and then we'll wrap up.
Where'd he go to the bathroom?
I don't know.
Oh.
Hard to say.
Yeah, why did he leave? Whatever.
Any stray thoughts, Trev?
Although I think any stray thoughts. The voice actor for Kamina, did you hear him at any point from Gurren Lagann?
Nope.
What is he?
He's in this.
What's he do?
He's the class president on the Halloween episode.
Ha! That's funny.
He's the
That's
coward.
Fucking
That's one
dweeb.
of my
That's
favorite
Kamina.
episodes.
That's really funny. Kamina. Wow.
Yeah, that like I heard his voice was the one that I first really recognized. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Kamina."
That's really funny.
Like,
No,
That's
I didn't.
One of my favorite episodes.
I didn't get it. That episode was too spooky for me, so I was under the covers.
It's a good episode.
Do you have any favorite episodes? Or?
Mm.
I like the one in the like tropical mall type deal, the pool, the lazy river.
Oh, the-
When Honey gets stuck.
when honey gets lost. Yeah, that was a good one.
Obviously like the Halloween one's one of my favorites. I also like when they like visit her on vacation, and like she's working, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they have to like fight to see who will like stay over.
Yeah, the
And
first.
that's like the big
The
development. for
refreshing points.
yeah, the refreshing points, and that's the big like where Hikaru freaks out and doesn't know why.
Yeah.
He's like likes her.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first time they go to her apartment too.
Yeah.
That's a funny episode.
That's a good one.
It starts with his dream,
Them-
Tamaki's dream, and
Oh, super weird. Yeah.
he didn't know it was a dream,
Yeah.
and I knew it was a dream because of how it was looking, and he was so confused. It was really funny.
Strange shit. Yeah. That's where we're at.
All
We were
right.
talking about our favorite
Yeah, good-
episodes.
those are good
Cobb.
favorite
Do you have a
episodes.
favorite episode?
Oh, gotcha. I don't have a favorite
Okay.
episode now.
Figure we'd
Oh
share.
yeah, I don't know. I
I said
yeah.
mine was the Halloween one, and then
Oh yeah, Halloween was classic. I don't know, maybe their day out where they go to the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Or not the
That's
mall,
so
the
good.
market or whatever.
yeah,
Maybe
That's
that
a
one.
mall.
yeah.
Yeah, I also like. I love the one where they're like investigating the commoner's life by going to the mall without Haruhi,
Yeah.
and then
And then she's
Yeah, that's
her
the one
and
I'm talking
Joya
about.
hanging out. Yeah,
That's the one I'm
that's.
talking about.
I figured that's probably one of my favorites
All of
for
the
sure as
commoner
well.
jokes were like
It's a good one.
insane because it's obviously making
Ridiculous.
jokes about rich people.
Yeah.
Like it's not actually shitting
Yeah.
on like commoner life. It's shitting on rich people and what they actually think about.
Yeah.
Like commoner.
The
like-
commoner's instant
yeah,
coffee.
Instant coffee.
The
Yeah,
commoner.
like, those were funny and how ridiculous
good
rich
stuff.
people live.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that You hated it, Jacob.
That's all right. I needed to get a low score, and I haven't done it in a little.
Bring him back down to earth.
That's fair.
He's not quite a weeb yet.
Yeah,
That's true, dude.
we're working on. Hey, you know what? To be fair, it doesn't. You don't have to like everything, and you can still be a weeb. He's working on it.
How dare you?
You're getting there.
Never.
I'll get you one day.
Never.
I will get to you one day. But anyways, this has been fun. Thanks, guys,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
humoring me. Thanks for coming, Marissa.
Yeah,
and
thanks for
being
joining
Having
us.
me.
Another, at least one guaranteed positive voice.
Cool. Thanks, Trev.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. This has been fun, and we'll see you next time with Jacob's pick.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah. Peace out.